everyone, and welcome to another brand new episode of Topic
Thunder.
Here from the Top 10 Show, I'm John Roca.
And I am Matt Nost. This is a show that we do each and every week for our patrons over at patreon.com/the top 10 with the number 10. They send in whatever questions, topics, whatever to us. We don't read it beforehand. We just answer them as they come in.
We do.
And I was searching for a third word to describe it for some fucking reason. So it's news to us. Every time we read them, we
It's
are
true.
just as surprised as you are when you hear it. So, John, I believe it's your turn to start, sir.
Yeah, let's do it. This one's from Maurice Robinson. It says, hello, John and Matt. It has taken me a while to send another question, but for a good reason. Every time I hear you ask for more questions to be submitted, I feel the call to action, but then fall short of sending in anything. You get such amazing questions / topics from fans of the show that are honestly pretty hard to follow. Oh my God, please, if anyone is not sending in stuff because you're worried about whether your question is going to stand up to what people have asked before, please do not let that stop you, for God's sakes. We want to hear from you. We don't judge. Well, we'll ball bust you, but we don't judge.
Yeah.
And we just want to hear what your 2 cents are. And just because you think it's not good doesn't mean it's not good.
Yeah,
let us.
You never know. You genuinely never know.
Yeah, exactly. For God's sake, someone gave you an NCAA bracket for movies once. So I'm just going to ask some regular old blue-collar questions. I apologize in advance, John, if you don't get to bring up your Criterion collection in the answers. LOL. Keep doing what you guys are doing and keep having fun. Long live Top 10. I don't know what the last 2 TS is. What do you think?
Nice pull on the long live.
Yeah, long
I
live.
was like LLTTT.
Oh, long live the Top 10 Show. Oh, my bad. Okay, there you go. Well, thank you very much, Maurice.
Never would have pieced that together. Good for you.
Okay, well, the kids love to use those anagrams. All right, let's see. The first one is, why is Kong blacked out in the logo of the show? Any plans for updating the show's logo with new movies? Oh, good question. Yeah, Matt?
I think it was honestly because when we went to Collider, it got inadvertently blacked out.
Yes.
Or I don't know if that was a conscious choice, like they didn't want Kong on there. And then we enjoyed the logo.
Yeah.
We kind of kept it going forward. So I don't think it was ever any specific reason. I think it was just an accident. And aesthetically, I kind of like it.
Yeah.
So it worked for us at the time. And but I don't recall if there was a discussion as to why I wasn't privy to it.
I never noticed it until he just asked the question.
So, no.
I just like the look of it, of the overall logo. So I never asked him.
I noticed it long ago. Your friend originally made it for us.
Oh, Clay, right? Yes.
Yeah. And it was fine on that. And then Collider took it, updated, added a little bit more of the 3D element, put the film strip in the background.
Right. Yeah. Ray Laura did that. Yeah.
And but I don't know. I haven't spoken to Ray in so long that never. I don't know if I ever.
I ran into Ray at CinemaCon. He was there with Campia. So
does he work for Campia now?
I think he does.
Work with, rather?
Yeah, work with. Yeah. I mean, Voico's over there with Campia as well, and Robert Meyer Burnett and all them. So
I knew Robert Meyer Burnett was.
Yeah.
Just the back end stuff. I didn't know that Ray was.
I'm sure I could reach out to Ray if we wanted to update the logo at some point, or reach out to my friend Clay and see if he'd be willing to do it. But at this point, there's no plans. No, to answer your second question, no plans for updating the show's logo with new movies yet. But we should explore that if we're going to feel topical, so to speak, on Topic Thunder. All right, second question is, why can't we get to see you guys when you do Topic Thunder? To me, you two shooting the shit is one of the best parts of the show. Well, you can. Well,
at the $20 and up tier,
you
get the video every week of Topic Thunder, because it used to be more restrictive.
Yeah.
And then once COVID set in, we eased some of the restrictions on who could submit for Topic Thunder, but we've always kept that. Well, we'll keep the video there. So that's why if you want to bump up, you can watch us on every week. And you'd still get the access to the live show and submitted questions for Topic Thunder. Or, if you ever want to get into the bracket game, you can do the brackets as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's answer to question number 2. Does he have more?
And the third one is, why can't we see where the coin lands? I mean, John, Matt wins a lot of these flips in the honor system. Oh, on the honor system, LOL. Yeah, I agree. But I trust Matt Nost. We've developed years of friendship, years of connection on the show. And I think Matt has a good moral compass that if Matt was to cheat, he'd have to live with himself. And I don't see him as the kind of person that would do that, which is why I trust him. Even though this is a playful question, I do trust him when he flips the coin. Matt, would you agree with that?
What are the stakes?
Now's the time to come clean if
you're gonna cheat. If you're gonna cheat,
yeah.
you're gonna do it on something more worthwhile in my book than edging a placement on one list.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
right.
Like, put it this way: I had to go to Home Depot the other day, and if you're wondering, if you're ever in the need of hardware that is 5/16 in size, right now in Los Angeles, I've been to 4 different Home Depots and a Lowe's.
4 different Home Depots.
Yeah. I've got 3 right by me, and then once I drove to Lowe's, there's another Home Depot up by it.
Oof.
Nobody has anything 5/16. I literally found one washer, and I paid for the singular amongst other things, and I handed the guy, and he looked at it, he's like, 1? And I was like, you don't have any others. And it was 16 cents or something. I easily could have just put that in my pocket.
Oh, yeah. Good point. You could have
easily, because I take in hardware all the time when I need to size things. I don't know what this specifically is, or I'm trying to match a bolt to something else that I got to replace. So you bring in stuff, and you're putting it back in your pocket. So I could have just been like, oh yeah, I brought that washer in with me. I could have stolen it. It was 16 cents. And if I'm not going to be dishonest there, why would I be dishonest about the flipping of a coin? It doesn't make sense. The stakes are too low. Yeah. Now, if this were an election, maybe I'm in agreement there, and we start stealing it, baby, because that's what we do on my side of the aisle. Even though there is no proof, we're still doing it.
Fair point. Fair point.
Yeah, I have never once fudged. Yeah. Does it hurt sometimes when you really want yours to land over theirs? Yes, but usually it's like a 50-50. Yeah, I like that movie. I like this movie. It's fine. Occasionally, I'm like, there's no way that fucking movie is better than this one. We both know it. Yeah, but it's one of the two of us is lying to themselves.
Well, it's usually you, but yeah,
I don't think so. If I'm having that emotional feel, I don't believe that's the case.
We'll see. But yeah, that's why I trust him, to be honest with you. So
that's why he has the Victorian coin now.
Yeah, exactly.
And he can flip that whenever he likes.
I do the bongos. Like, let Matt do the flips every once in a while. I got no problem with that.
Sure.
I trust him. And as Matt said, it's exactly the approach. Like, if it really mattered that much, you can have it. If it really mattered that much for you to cheat to put one film above another, then it must mean something to you. So go ahead and knock yourself out.
And it's much better than coming to some sort of loggerheads about, I'm not putting this over that type of thing. Just just flip a fucking coin.
Which is what was fun about, I know when we first started out, we would have those battles and whatever, but we're older now. So it's more circumspect.
Well, it just gets tedious after a while. It does.
Yes, you're absolutely right. It does.
It's like, fine, we're really fighting about this again. This show's already gone an hour and 40 minutes. We're going to drag it out another 8 minutes.
Yeah, I think if the world wasn't so fucked up too, if the world was a lot more peaceful, relaxed, then we could spend the energy fighting about a movie and where it ranks and where it places or whatever. But honestly, we're too aware of the world, both of us, that kind of stuff isn't that big of a deal. Even though the occasional battles for it and the occasional moments of offense about one film being ranked over another is fun. The time we used to spend on those battles is just like, no, this doesn't make any sense. Now it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't mean we won't occasionally have a disagreement.
Well, plus, we know the other's taste and sensibilities. You kind of
good point.
Coming into him and be like, if he has it, it's probably going to be somewhere in this ballpark.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So you already know it's never a shock. Whereas early on, it's just like, what? How can you put that? And then, he just doesn't enjoy these or really enjoys these type of movies. And personal taste comes into account.
That's an excellent point.
It's like unequivocally saying the Citizen Kane is the greatest movie ever. I don't remotely come close to.
Period.
Yes. Point blank and period for you.
It's not even a question.
Even though it ends up as number 2 on a list of auteurs. It's amazing.
There's a reason for that.
It's amazing. The best movie of all time. Number 2 on my list.
It's all about parameters. Man.
Didn't see that.
All about parameters.
It's anachronistic. You anticipate the greatest of all time, and it fits the parameters. And yet somehow doesn't quite make it to the mountaintop.
Yeah, you never know. All right. Well, thank you so much for that message there, Maurice Robinson. We appreciate the questions. Keep sending them in. Don't be intimidated by other people's questions. Please send in what your questions, thoughts, and comments are.
Yeah, Maurice, send in whatever you want.
Yeah.
Because you never know. Occasionally you'll send in something you think is a nothing question and it leads to a 20-minute discussion.
Yeah,
because
absolutely true.
It manages to be like, oh, John just happened to watch a thing about that. And then he's got a story about it and it sparks another story from me. And so please fire away.
Absolutely. All right. What's our next one here, Matt?
Well, before we get into that, why don't you take a quick break?
Yes.
Hear this word from our sponsor, and then we'll jump into our next topic on Topic Thunder. All right, there we are.
All right.
And our next one, thank you once again to Maurice, comes to us from Tim Williams.
Thank you, Tim.
He says, "G'day, blokes. How's things on your end? Matt, I have adopted your not watching trailers method. I have to say it's bloody hard, but it is rewarding."
That's madness.
The best. Go into it with no expectation.
I don't understand that. All right.
Anyways, my question now, in hindsight, what movie did you wish you never saw the trailer for and just went in fresh?
Ooh.
Mine is Terminator 2. It would have been nice to know Arnie was the good guy in this one. Pardon me. Would have been nice not to know Arnie is the good guy in this one. Thanks once again, fellas. Hooroo, Timothy R. Williams.
So my answer, I have like 3 that leap to mind. Certainly The Matrix. If I had not known a thing about The Matrix before I went in to see the movie, I think I would have been even more blown away, even though The Matrix was incredible. But it was the trailer that got me in the theater because I don't know if I would have necessarily gone to see it, judging from the poster or whatever. And the other one, it just jumped out of my mind. Oh, well. Yeah. I mean, I think that's the number one that I think about when I think about a film that, like, wow, I wish I didn't know anything about it before. Seven. I wish I'd never seen the trailer for Seven because I heard Kevin Spacey's voice. I knew he was going to be the villain. And so, because I'm so good at picking up voices and recognizing voices, like I was like, oh, Kevin Spacey. And I knew immediately. And so I was like, fuck. So when I went and saw the movie, it still worked. The movie still affected me like crazy because of Fincher's direction, everybody, and the performances from everybody and the moments. But like, I knew it was going to be him. And so that ruined it for me big time. So what about you, Matt? What do you got?
The first one that came to mind was Inglourious Bastards, because then I wouldn't have set the expectations that it was about the Inglourious Bastards.
Right. Good point.
Maybe change the title too. I don't know. Something.
Would you have been more disappointed that you went in without knowing, just from the title? You're like, oh, we're gonna get a whole movie about these guys, and then it's like, what the fuck is all these others?
Well, then maybe I could extend the bastards are the Nazis, the bastards are Hitler, right. I could rationalize, but the trailer, the original one that I saw, was like 90% Brad Pitt and the bastards.
It was. You're right.
And I love that. I wish it was 2 hours of them.
Yeah.
Because they were easily my favorite part. Although I did like the stuff with Mike Myers. I thought that was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And Christoph Waltz is great. Like, if there's this parallel of Christoph Waltz is out doing anything and the bastards are out doing things, and eventually they come to that head where those are the two, as opposed to bringing Hitler in and killing Hitler in the movie theater. The whole movie theater storyline I didn't give 2 shits about. And still don't. Like, if I go back to rewatch it now, I fast forward through all of that, and I don't really, I selectively go through the ending.
Yeah.
It's the only Tarantino that I do any kind of self-editing on.
Yeah. Well, and the truth is, Oh, sorry, man. You finish your point. Sorry about that.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say the truth is, a lot of the times when you're getting into movies, you don't see the trailers. Your friend tells you, you got to see this.
Mhm.
Or you read in a magazine, these are the top 30 films. I've rarely seen trailers for classic films. Rarely. Because I just go, okay, this magazine tells me that I got to see this film. I'm going to rent it or I'm going to watch it, find some way to stream it or whatever. So or a foreign film, right? Now you can see trailers much more easily on YouTube for foreign films, but in the past you really couldn't. So I would just have to go on the word of whatever magazine I was reading, film magazine I was reading. So in a way, a lot of us grow up not having seen the trailers for these movies, but getting suggested movies to us to watch, either by friends, family, or a magazine or a movie review book like the Leonard Maltin book or whatever. So that's the truism in life. But nowadays, everything is marketing, everything is selling. It's funny because someone said that to me the other day on a comment on Trailer Reaction. They're like, why do you read the synopsis before you watch the trailer? And I'm like, well, I'd like to have an idea of what I'm going to watch so I can frame it when I react to it. But I'm considering maybe not doing that in the future because
you're coming in with expectations then.
Yeah. So it might be kind of fun to just be like, I don't know what the fuck this is about, So, yeah.
That's why I would much for I kind of wish I'd never seen Fury Roads. And I just walked into that completely blind. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I love Mad Max, but dear God.
Yeah.
This is even, more fantastical. Whereas you saw a little bit of the tornado in the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
And you saw other elements that were still mesmerizing.
Yeah.
On the first viewing in the theater. But to see all of that just completely blind with no expectations, I would have enjoyed that. I'm trying to think.
Well, it's a constant struggle, isn't it? Like I went to CinemaCon earlier this year and they showed us extended minutes of films, right? I got the first 20 minutes of Doctor Strange 2, 15 minutes of animatics of the new Spider-Verse film coming out. So there is this temptation to see as much as possible, but then there is the other side of but I want to be surprised by what you got in it. So these studios, and they always have, and the marketing people especially, they always have to walk that line of giving you just enough to get you interested, but not giving away too much about the movie, or TV show. And it's not always easy, so you always have to wrestle with that on a personal level. How much do I really want to see, not want to see about a movie?
I mean, thankfully, if you see any massive set piece in a trailer, you can, that's in the first 10 minutes of the movie. That has nothing to do with the overall plot. Right. That is the action that they try and hook you with in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So it is irrelevant to the story going forward. And other things like Endgame, I know Thanos is going to die. So I don't give a shit. I can see that trailer because I know what's going to happen. They're going to bring people back,
right?
Whatever the case is. So certain times you already know what the story is going to be.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I don't give a shit about a trailer in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
But also then trailers can kill. Back in the day, Adam Sandler had the worst trailers because they gave away the 2-3 best jokes in the movie in the trailer.
Yeah.
And then you go see the movie and be like, I smiled, but I would have laughed hard at that joke that you used in the trailer.
Yeah.
So that's the downside to me. It really sometimes can depreciate my overall sense of enjoyment.
Yeah.
Upon walking out, hence Bastards. I mean, Tarantino didn't have misses for me, and that to me is a miss.
Yeah. I wonder if Braveheart is a whole new experience if you haven't seen the trailer. Do you walk in? Yeah, I don't know. You walk in, you're like, okay, I see the picture of this guy, but I don't know anything about William Wallace. I don't know anything about Scotland in terms of its independence or whatever.
Sure.
So walking in, you're like, okay. And Mel Gibson directed it? All right, let's see what we got. And then you might be even more blown away because you didn't know all of that before you walked in. Because that trailer was fucking great to get you into it,
Yeah, I don't remember the trailer on that. I just remember seeing it in the theater and then seeing it 100 times since.
The score was all over that trailer.
Yeah. And certain times I think, for some movies, it doesn't matter
yes,
to me as much. Like, say, as a random example, like Major League. That trailer is going to give away the plot and also not give away the plot.
Yeah.
So I don't care. That's fine. I can see the trailer. I don't need to see the trailer.
Right.
It's a very in-gamey, but that type of movie to me, where they're not going to spoil the best jokes like Sandler had a tendency to do in the early aughts.
Yeah.
Or whatever the prime of his putting out, late 90s?
Yeah, late 90s, early aughts. I think that qualifies.
I think Waterboy was the last one where it's like you gave out all the fucking jokes in the trailer.
Well, 50 First Dates was after Waterboy, right?
Yes.
And Wedding Singer as well. Or no,
yeah,
that was around the same time, Wedding Singer, 98 or something like that.
Yeah, I think Wedding Singer was just like the rapping grandma. I think it was the only.
That's right.
But there was enough jokes to where it didn't matter. It's when your premise is already pretty thin, and then you liquidate those assets in a 90-second trailer is when it kills me.
Yeah.
But yeah, welcome to the club, Tim. It's the way to go. Try to not watch trailers as much as you possibly can.
I do not agree with Matt Nost in the slightest, but I understand some people don't like it. So, all right. I respect it. All right. Do we have time for one more?
Yeah, I think we could do one more and then call it a day.
Where should we go? Fredtastic or Drake? What do you feel?
Let's do Drake.
Okay. This one's from Drake Fromsdorf. Oh, really? Oh, cool little picture here. Let's see what that's all about. Hey, fellas, by the time you read this on the show, the Tennessee Titans will be 1-0. That's not true. We haven't got it. What? We haven't even started the season.
Maybe started preseason.
Preseason. Yeah, we even started preseason. Too much hate on them from you guys. Vrabel is the man. Not a losing season since he's been in Tennessee. They still have the best running back in the league when he's not injured and have a very underrated defense. We sacked Burrow 9 times in the playoffs. Yes, but then you still lost the game. Just had to get my Titans talk in. Huge Monday Night Football game, week 2 versus Josh Allen and the Bills. Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch. My question, I've heard John talk about his lady outlaw when she's on her phone during a show/movie. He knows she's uninterested. Right, yeah, when she's on her phone, she's not interested in the show or the movie. Yes. My fiance is the same way. Expect she'll do it for almost any show. We recently watched all 4 seasons of Stranger Things, and I find myself distracted by her distraction. So my question from a 25-year-old to you guys, how do I get her to stop? And in a productive way, because the way I approach it now does not work. Yeah, you probably yell at her, which is she's the love of my life. And we just had our first child last year, but damn if this isn't my biggest pet peeve. Take care, gentlemen. It's a pleasure listening to you guys on my swing shifts at work. P.S. 5 months since I last sent in an email and still no Leo. I guess I'm going to have to switch to Boss Hog or wait for Killers of the Flower Moon in 2023. You don't have to mention this on the show, but here is my son at his first birthday shoot. Oh, it's a great picture. What a strapping young kid that is. Absolutely. Look at the smile. Love it.
I wondered, did you think they put that display together? Or is that like
I don't know.
A shoot somewhere?
Must be a shoot somewhere, I would imagine. Yeah.
You can tell me. The only thing that kills me is St. Louis Cardinals. Come on now. The worst, I don't even follow baseball anymore, and I still hate the Cardinals with as much passion as I did when I followed baseball.
How did you for Tennessee and the St. Louis Cardinals? That seems odd to me in the connective tissue.
Yeah, they don't really have a baseball team if he lives in Tennessee.
That's true.
There's I think a AAA team in Memphis. Nashville has the Sounds, but I don't know what level the Sounds are.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which is kind of weird. You would think that they would have a baseball team. But anyway.
Yeah.
So his question, how to get your affianced to get on. I would say if there's a show like Stranger Things where you're hardcore into it and she's kind of meh, be like, this is one I watch without you. Just flat out.
Maybe.
If you're not going to pay attention to it, then I'm not going to watch it with you.
Yeah.
And other shit, if you have other things you don't really care about as much that you're watching, and she wants to be on her phone for that, well, no harm, no foul. If that's her natural fault. But I would say pick your battles.
Yes.
Because you can't fight about every single TV show, because if that's how she likes to experience TV shows, that's how she likes to experience TV shows.
Exactly.
So if it's only going to piss you off on certain things like Stranger Things, then say, look, you can watch it. I'm going to watch it separately.
Yeah.
If you'd like to watch it together, you on your phone pulls me out of the reality of getting sucked into the show, and I can't do it. I'm sorry. So if you want to watch it, go right ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fine to have your own shows.
Yes. I think it's healthy to have your own shows. I mean, Lily hasn't watched 1 minute of the Derek Jeter documentary. I'm devouring like crazy the series that's going on.
My buddy was trying to sell me on it.
So good, dude.
That's what he said, but it's like, I don't care about baseball, and I don't care about Derek Jeter, and I don't care about the Yankees.
All right.
I don't. But if it's still good,
yeah, it's good. It's fucking
minus all those things, then yeah, I'll give it a whirl.
But I think what I kind of, and you're 25, so I know what 25 is like. You want her to be a part of everything, and you've got your emotions and blah blah blah. But at my age, I don't care if she's on the phone. That only lets me and I say to her, "Honey, are you into the show?" She's like, "Yeah." If she doesn't care, then we'll go to something else. But if she's on her phone, because sometimes I'm on my phone checking Twitter or checking my emails or Instagram or whatever, and because it's a show that doesn't require me to spend that much attention on it. I get it. I get what's happening. So there are certain shows like that. So I would say I think Matt's absolutely correct. Have the conversation with her. Say, certain shows, I really like you to pay attention because I'd like us to have conversations about it afterwards because I trust your opinion and I appreciate your opinion. And your opinion matters to me because I respect your intelligence and analysis on things like this. So then you can approach it from a way that's very much giving her all the props, giving her, stroking the ego a little bit, and also explaining the importance of it all to you. Mm-hmm. The other side of it is you could also watch the show with her and not give a shit that she's on her phone. Like, hey, you just come to terms with the fact that I'm essentially watching the show. I don't care that she's on her phone. Now, if she's on her phone and she goes, now what happened? Then fuck that. Then that's where the problem becomes. And Lindley has called me out on it because a couple of times I've done it. We were watching some of these British shows. I'll be caught up on what I'm reading on Twitter. And then all of a sudden some big piece of the evidence or whatever pops up. And I go, hey, wait, how did he end up? And she's like, for the love of God, if you don't put that phone down. So she's right. And she's right.
She is.
So those are the things that you have to navigate. But again, you're 25. You're not old farts like us who are just we understand how to kind of navigate that stuff, not care too much about it. But because it matters so much to you, I think Matt's right. Communication, explaining it, and then and if she's receptive to it, great. Then you guys have a new working understanding of how to handle these things. But if she's not, then you've either got to come to terms with it, not care about it, or actually watch the shows on your own and be okay with doing it.
Or you can engage her. So Catherine has now adopted some of my habits in that I am, like, say we're watching a mystery.
Yeah.
I'm trying to guess who the individual is long before the reveal.
Oh, God, yeah.
And I'll float if we're not if it's not the end all be all, then I'll float the idea like, you think that's the killer? And she'd be like, oh, I hadn't thought of that yet. And we'll have a discussion while we're watching why that person may or may not be the killer.
Yeah.
Because there are certain things of certain realities. Early on, she's like, oh, why do you think that they're the killer? And I remember we were watching Elementary. I was like, well, they have to introduce the person to you by this point in the show. Yeah. So it has to be anybody we've already previously seen because you need to live with the character before they can flip and be the heel.
Right.
Otherwise, it's way too convenient. Mm-hmm. And you're never buying it as an audience and stuff like that. So now she has picked up a lot of those habits and be like, she'll catch on to things faster than me now. It's great. Mm-hmm. She'll be like, what do you think that person? I'm like, oh, okay. And then we'll start having that discussion. We don't do it for every show, but if it's one we can tell we're like 75% engaged, then we can have a discussion while the show is going on and you're not really missing anything. It's a kind of, enhancing it for us.
Yeah.
But but there are certain shows that are just like, you watch that without me because I have no interest.
Yes. There's certainly a conversation happens there. Like, she watches everything that RuPaul does. And I love RuPaul. I think he stands for something really positive in the world. So I got no problem. And he certainly created an empire when nobody thought this person could create an empire. So all power to it. But I don't have any interest in watching the shows that much. So she knows that. And then other shows that I want to watch, she has no interest in. Some of the sports related stuff, some of the other stuff she doesn't want to watch. So we just kind of, I go, or even some of the shows that we do want to watch, she'll watch the first episode and be out. And then I want to stay in. So then we'll separate the time and that's why I've constructed The Office to have its own TV. And if we get into if we get a bug up our asses and we can afford to get another TV, we'll move one of the TVs into the bedroom so that it's a more relaxing place for me to watch stuff as well. So you got to have places that you can go and enjoy stuff and get a good pair of headphones as well. I would recommend, so that you don't listen to her show while you're trying to watch your show. I recommend that as well. That has been a lifesaver for me. So, but yeah, communication is key. Communication is the key. You guys are young. You're a young couple. You just had a child. It's going to add more stress to your life. So communication is super important, and don't take it personal.
Yeah.
Because
it's just a fucking TV show.
It's just a fucking TV show.
It's just if you really do, she is really the love of your life.
Yeah.
You should be able to work through the problem.
Exactly.
It might take more effort than we're giving it credit. That's fine.
That's fine. Yeah.
Um,
have her write in. Have her write in her points of views. We'll
yeah, it's fine. We'll do a special tier of couples counseling.
Yeah, top 10 couples counseling. Dun, dun, dun. That's all I hear is the People's Court theme. Anyway, all right, let's get out of here. Thank you all so much for your questions, thoughts, and comments. They sent us here. A big shout out to Tim Williams, to Maurice Robinson, and to Drake Fromsdorf, who sent those questions in. We had a lot of fun talking. Keep sending them in, ladies and gentlemen, please. We're getting into the single digits, so send in your questions, thoughts, and comments. I know we're in the heydays of summer, so you all are out there relaxing and drinking your pina coladas or your Mai Tais as you enjoy the summer heat. But take a moment and send us a question, thought, and comment so we can talk about it on the show and have some fun with it for sure. Matt, any final things you need to tell them?
You can follow the show at Top 10 Show, all spelled out. And on Instagram and YouTube, it is /the Top 10 Podcast with the number 10. So please hit us up, and you can follow me anywhere at Matt Nost.
And you can follow me at The Rocha Says. All right, y'all take care of yourselves. We'll talk to you next time with another brand new episode of Topic Thunder.